This is not a government that is playing politics. This is a government that has come to fulfill.
President Muhammadu Buhari acknowledges support of Nigerians in the successes recorded by his administration.
This is why this administration has prioritized agriculture and food security as the basis for socio-economic development.
Nigeria moves towards self-sufficiency in food production as the federal government takes steps to address housing deficit.
It's the young people we expect in public office are young people who have the competence, who have the moral capital to hold public office.
President Muhammadu Buhari receives commendations for signing into law the Not Too Young to Run bill. And all is set for the hosting of World Tourism Organization Conference in Abuja. Hello, good evening and welcome to NTN Network News. I'm Joseph Johnson in Abuja. Also reading with me tonight are Dotun Ogunyemi from Lagos and from Port Harcourt. We have Ogechi Paul. It's good to see you guys. President Muhammadu Buhari has formally expressed his gratitude to members of the Buhari Media Organization for being steadfast in promoting and defending the interest of the governing APC as a matter of principle, saying he cannot thank them enough. The president stated this while receiving officials and members of the group during a courtesy visit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The Buhari Media Organization, which used to be known as the Buhari Media Support Group, has been working assiduously from the background to amplify the activities of the governing APC using the various tools of mass communication. Established before the 2015 elections, the organization is particularly known for its numerous interventions towards reshaping the mischievous narratives against the Buhari administration. And for this, amongst other supportive gestures, President Muhammadu Buhari said he cannot thank the members enough.
Your consistency has given me a lot of confidence, and I know you have done it at price, physical, and mental, and material. Because, as I kept on saying, the opposition now are sitting on incredible resources. For that reason, they are in a position to sponsor mischief from different angles. It is you that are quietly and openly fighting it. That's why I identify your steadfastness as your great quality. And I remain grateful. And this country, whether people realize it or not, should remain grateful to you for your courage.
Chairman of the group, Austin Brimo, in a PowerPoint presentation, appreciated the president for providing the leadership Nigeria desires towards addressing its fundamental challenges for a sustainable future.
This is not a government that is playing politics. This is a government that has come to fulfill. And in fulfilling, complete all uncompleted projects, block all leakages, ensure that there's probity, have a change of direction. And to do this is not a mean thing. We are ready to sink and swim with President Muhammadu Buhari.
People may want to hide and pretend that they have not seen much, but the truth is any sincere Nigerian will tell you we are not where we used to be.
3 years of this administration has been that of steady progress, sustainable development for a better future.
We can see how the president is succeeding in diversifying the economy, especially the areas of agriculture and solid minerals.
And then the country is coming up now. We have the biggest and largest economy in Africa. We have the biggest reserve.
We thank God for giving us President Muhammadu Buhari. We need continuity, consolidation and sustainability.
Among those in the delegation to the State House was the pioneer chairman and coordinator of the organization, Muhammad Labbo, now Executive Director News of the NTA. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is appreciating Nigerians for being consistent in supporting the governing APC as it continued to chart a pragmatic course for sustainable national development. This was while hosting members of the Nigerian business community and party leaders to the breaking of Ramadan fast. Here again is Adamu Sambo with the details.
Addressing his audience made up of captains of industry and leaders of the various political parties, President Muhammadu Buhari expressed gratitude to Nigerians for their understanding, support and cooperation to his administration. He said, despite the daunting challenges inherited, the governing APC has done so much with so little, but assured the people that the best is yet to come.
I'm very pleased that we haven't lost focus from our campaign promises of security, economy, and fighting corruption. And as I kept on saying, rice alone, we stopped importation of rice by 90%. Rice alone, not other things. So, convey to our constituency that I'm very grateful for the consistent support I'm getting.
Business mogul and chairman of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, applauded the Buhari administration for the giant strides recorded in the economic diversification drive, which he described as elusive in the past.
I think really with the way that we have done, Your Excellency, I personally now believe definitely if we are able to eliminate the smuggling of rice, and by also focusing on this set trajectory, Your Excellency, we will be able to now export rice from Nigeria. Your Excellency, with your direction, if you look at it today, farmers have more money than people who live in the cities. So I believe, sir, the way that things are today, if we concentrate on agriculture, definitely most of our own sales revenue in the business will come from the rural areas, and that is what we are looking for, to Your Excellency.
I see a resilient economy. The reserves are up to $49 billion. Inflation is down from 18% to 13%. The real sector is where you're seeing a substantial amount of economic growth. Oil is down to 15% of GDP. The services sector is up, agriculture is 20% plus and rising. There's a huge upsurge of investors, particularly portfolio investors in the Nigerian exchange and investors coming to the economy. So I see great things happening. I think you must commend the government. They have done very well in the economy.
The chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, Muhammad Naladu, said the governing APC has delivered on pre-election promises.
During the campaigns, they concentrated on telling Nigeria and promising Nigerians that they were going to fight corruption, fight insurgency, and we can see today the level of commitment of the government of the day in fighting corruption. And everyone can agree with me that the level of insecurity has quite dropped down.
So it's a question of consolidation. That's what the APC is yearning for, because there are certain landmarks which could only be seen in the next few years to come. People will feel it more than now. So we are on course, the president is on course, and we have not dread.
The breaking of the Ramadan fast continues with a broad spectrum of the Nigerian society. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The signing into law of the Not Too Young to Run bill is an affirmation of the Buhari administration's belief in inclusive democracy. Founder of the Not Too Young to Run movement and one of the sponsors of the bill at the National Assembly thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for being a Democrat. Linda Ogidi reports.
There seems to be no end to clappings that started on Democracy Day when President Buhari announced that he would sign the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. Here, it is the founders of the movement, the sponsors of the bills at the National Assembly and others who had worked and hoped for this day to come that are gathered to celebrate the historic event in Nigeria's democratic journey.
The movement will retain its identity as a non-partisan citizens-led movement dedicated to the defense of democracy and nation building.
To the 86 senators and 261 honorable members who said yes to the bill. Thank you.
While acknowledging that the development will entrench democracy, deepen intergenerational mix, competitive politics, mentorship, and reduce political violence. They were, however, quick to note that the act does not guarantee youth representation in political offices.
Beyond the discussion or the advocacy that democracy itself is about inclusion, we've constantly held, and our position as a movement is the young people we expect in public office are young people who have the competence, who have the moral capital to hold public office.
The signing of the Not Too Young to Run bill is expected to encourage more youth to aspire for elective offices at all levels of governance. In Abuja, Linda Ogidi, NTA News.
Thank you, Linda. Well, with the passing of the bill, it's high time some of us changed our passion, don't you think? Well, in the meantime, the All Progressives Congress has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for signing into law the Not Too Young to Run bill, while applauding the president for keeping to his promise. The APC also lauded the National Assembly for passing the bill in good time, as this will increase the participation of the youths in election process. A statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Abdullahi Bolaji, however, condemned the opposition PDP for finding fault in the bill passed by the National Assembly and enjoined Nigerian youths not to be distracted by their divisive antics. To other matters now, with barely 3 days to the commencement of the 61st United Nations World Tourism Organization Commission for Africa meeting to be hosted by Nigeria, Host Minister Lai Mohammed has inspected the Transcorp Hilton Hotel as part of move to ensure a Aish-free meeting. Anthony Fortson reports.
Transcorp Hilton Hotel will play host to the over 180 foreign delegates and about 26 African ministers who have so far indicated their interest to attend. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed and company of the Permanent Secretary, Deaconess Grace Isugekwe, and other officials of the ministry were conducted round and assured that delegates will be satisfied. Apart from the main hall for the meeting, breakout rooms for syndicate sessions have also been allotted.
We have one office here, we have the VIP waiting room, and then upstairs we have the local secretariat for the staff. Yes, so we have 7 different syndicate rooms apart from the main conference hall.
After the inspection, the minister spoke to newsmen about his impression and what is at stake for Nigeria.
Overall, we are very satisfied with the arrangement. We want to use this meeting to tell the world that Nigeria is not just at peace with itself, but Nigeria is actually ready to host the entire world. This is a country in a hurry to develop. Of course, because it's a tourism and it's culture, we're also going to let them see the diverse cultures of the people of Nigeria.
The 61st UNWTO CAF meeting will hold from the 4th to 6th of June. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The National Council for Women's Societies has commended the joint health sector unions for calling off the strike in the interest of the nation. The national president, Gloria Labara Shoda, appealed to the federal government to adhere to their demands. The national president also commended President Muhammadu Buhari for assenting to the much-desired Not Too Young to Run bill, urging the government to also domesticate the 35% agreed affirmative action for women in elective and appointive positions. Correspondents on special assignment peep into the records of President Buhari's 3 years in government in key areas. Details when we return. You're watching NTA Network News with me, Joseph Johnson. The issue of food self-sufficiency is one of the cardinal focus of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. 3 years down the line, Nigeria is not only producing enough food for her citizens, but a major exporter of staples in Africa. Musa Babaliu in this report traces the success story.
By the year 2050, Nigeria is projected to be the third most populous country in the world. Global population by then would be 9.8 billion people.
You have to make provision for those growth. Accommodation, for example, agriculture, economic actually sustenance, and so on and so forth.
Imagine the future of the country if it cannot provide food that will feed the ever-growing population. And how will the country survive if there is no money to import food?
This is why this administration has prioritized agriculture and food security as the basis for socio-economic development, not least because of our conviction that Nigeria has the potential to produce what it eats, but also that we can be the breadbaskets of West Africa.
Today, Nigeria is not only producing enough food to feed her citizens, but also ranked among the world's largest producers of staples. Records of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture indicate that over 12 million farmers are producing over 17 million tons of rice against 6 million farmers in 2015.
Nigeria is the largest producer of maize in Africa, 10 million tons, and this is according to the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. We are the second in sorghum.
In the area of export, demand of Nigerian agricultural commodities has grown from 3.1 in 2015 to 180.7% in 2017.
The bill on the National Agricultural Land Development Authority has been passed, for which Mr. President has assented to.
I want to believe that in terms of agriculture, the Buhari administration have significantly impacted on the nation, and we continue to call on the government to put its leg down and be steadfast.
Already, the status of peasant and smallholder farmers whose subsistent efforts were barely enough to feed their immediate families is changing to commercial growers in many states across the country. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, the provision of affordable houses by the present administration has given hope to Nigerians that their shelter needs will soon be met. Correspondent in this special report examines ongoing efforts to correct the housing deficit.
With over 170 million people, Nigeria, the most populous country in sub-Saharan Africa, has over the years been plagued with housing issues. As successive governments made frantic efforts in salvaging the problem, which has seemingly defied solution, it became a question of who will change the narrative.
But the question, which hitherto was a big ask, as much as it appeared to be a big task, seems to have been wrested, at least for now.
That is the belief of these journalists, Benga and Ibrahim, who have been covering activities in the housing sector for quite some time now. They gave me a sense of how far the Buhari-led administration has gone in addressing the housing challenge.
When this government came on board, it was said that Nigerians having over 17 million housing deficit, and part of the government plan is to bridge this housing deficit. And in 2016, the government came up with the National Housing Program, which is aimed at constructing various units of houses across the country. In 2017, last year, between January and February, that program was launched with the construction of housing in about 34 states of the country, including the Federal Capital Territory. And in each of the states, we have not less than 70 to 80 housing units, ranging from 1, 2, and 3 bedroom flats, including a condominium. It's something that is practically on ground. We saw the step the government has taken and what they are doing, and the quality of the project. It is visible for every Nigerian to see.
In one of the project sites, we met people who are even clamoring that they want the second phase of this project to commence as soon as possible. Why? Because it's creating jobs. You know, local suppliers are being engaged. Talk about cement suppliers, talk about granite suppliers, and some of these people are even women. And aside from that, you have traders who sell food. Some even make as much as 15,000 naira daily.
I have a wife and 5 children in my house, which I'm feeding them through this project.
I thank God for the President Buhari
for him to initiate this kind of project and for me to be a beneficiary.
It is not going to be a litany of abandoned projects. We will complete all the projects that we meet and will continue on our own projects. We are insisting that our artisans and craftsmen should be adequately equipped to deliver very good houses.
Optimistic words there. Now let's show you another stride, because the good old days are back in the Federal Capital Territory, with residents enthused by the unprecedented social and economic developments going on in the center of unity in the last 3 years. Mitari Ekben reports that visitors now need to seek guide due to the transformation taking place in every nook and cranny of the nation's capital.
This was how the old Southern Parkway traversing the CBN and the NTA headquarters looked like. Fast forward 6 months and this is what it is now, and in a couple of weeks, the road will be opened for use.
From the quality of work I'm seeing now, I think I commend the FCT administration, and I expect if every other state and federal road can replicate this.
He's really trying right now on working all these projects, especially this project here in FCT.
The residents' excitement may not be unconnected with the impact made by the completion of the Kubwa and Airport Expressways and even the Bill Clinton, AYA and Aso Villa interchanges.
As you come out of the flyover of AYA, you can now move on to the ISEX.
Another means of transport Abuja residents are looking forward to is the light rail project, which the Bello administration is making a reality after years of unfulfilled promises.
Any moment from now, Mr. President, I will be a guest in FCT to commission the rail project.
The FCTA has not stopped at infrastructure only in the last 3 years. It has empowered more than 2,000 youth entrepreneurs with credit facilities ranging from 70,000 naira to 2 million naira. The target is 10,000 jobs by the year 2020. In the healthcare sector, the abandoned Karu and Zuba hospitals have been opened to outpatients while work continues.
So if we have a patient, we take him to hospital, Suleja, or Gwagwaleda or Kuba, but now we have it here.
Mitari Ekben, NTA News.
In other news, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has promised continued support to government at all levels as a way of giving back to the society. He was speaking while presenting 150 patrol vehicles to the Nigeria Police Force. Victor Azu reports.
A cursory look at this arena will suggest that this is a motor fair, but you will be wrong. It is the Aliko Dangote Foundation living up to its corporate social responsibility by doling out a whopping 150 fully kitted patrol vehicles to the Nigeria Police Force. While presenting the symbolic key, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, explains that the foundation is giving the patrol vehicles to support crime prevention efforts in the country.
The Dangote Foundation normally spends minimum of between 10 to 12 billion naira every year in terms of donating in the sectors where we always, interject.
Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris promises that the vehicles will spur the officers and men to greater success in fighting crime and criminality.
The vehicles will be put in effective use and therefore a boost to our efforts in the fight against crime and criminality in this country.
Vice President Professor Yemi Oshimbaju, who receives the vehicles on behalf of government, calls on other corporate organizations to follow suit. Aliko Dangote Foundation is the philanthropic endeavor of the Dangote Group. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
A coalition of Niger Delta civil society activists in collaboration with Niger Delta Environmental Protection Group has passed a vote of confidence on the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, for efforts of the Nigerian Armed Forces towards effective operations across the Niger Delta region. They said this during a joint press conference in Abuja.
We are saying thank you to the military for what you are doing. Thank you to the military for what you have done. And thank you to the Nigerian military for what you are also continuing to do on our behalf. It is not an easy task. All of us are sleeping in our homes, that is the reason why they are staying outside their homes all the more.
The group, while appealing for increased efforts to combat renewed high-profile cases of oil bunkering, vandalism and economic sabotage, walked from the International Conference Center to the Defense Headquarters to lay their complaints. We now take you to Lagos, where Dotun is with the next set of reports. Dotun.
Thank you, Joseph, and a warm welcome to Lagos. The Nigeria Air Force says it is repositioning for operational efficiency to adequately face the security challenge facing the nation. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, stated this in Lagos as he inaugurated some operational facilities for officers and men. Lynn Lineke reports.
To achieve enhanced operational proficiency in air power, the officers and men of the Air Force require a conducive environment within which to operate. Not surprisingly, therefore, the Nigerian Air Force is being proactive in pursuing its internal security mandate. Towards this end, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, inspected some operational facilities for enhanced presence.
Permit me at this point to appreciate the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for his continuous support to the military, especially the Nigerian Air Force, and logistic support to operate them. We have recently received some new platforms while awaiting the delivery of others.
While inspecting the two X-NAV and C-130 aircraft currently undergoing periodic depot maintenance, the Air Chief stressed that maintenance of fighter aircraft is key to counterinsurgency operations in the Northeast. He therefore inaugurated the accommodation for airmen and women.
Professionalism is not just about equipment, it's not just about training. It's most importantly about the human beings, because the human being is the most important resource. If he's not taken care of, chances are that he will not be effective.
The visit of the Chief of Air Staff was to ascertain the level of progress of various projects and to boost the morale of personnel. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Still on security, the 81 Division Nigerian Army, Lagos, in a major seizure, intercepted 3 lorries conveying about 5 tons of live ammunition, estimated to be over 300,000 rounds. The consignment was intercepted following a tip-off at Balogun village during a combined anti-illegal bunkering and anti-pipeline vandalism operation between Lagos and Ogun State. Cordelia Unkwama has the details.
The interception of the trucks conveying thousands of live cartridges was made in the line of duty of the men of 81 Division Nigerian Army in their continued effort to crack down on pipeline vandals, criminal elements and cultists operating within the Lagos-Ogun axis. Brigade Commander, 35 Artillery Brigade Abuja, Brigadier General Olaniyi Olatunde, who displayed the seized items and contents to newsmen in Lagos, said the destination of the lorries has remained unknown because on sighting the troops at Balogun village along Igbogila-Ilasa Road in Ogun State, the drivers and the occupants fled into the bush, abandoning the trucks.
Over 300,000. No, the point of entry is Ilara. That is a border town in Nigeria, close to Benin Republic. There will be investigation. And we'll start from the registration, number plates of the vehicles, and maybe if we are lucky, if we see some other documents that will assist us, beautiful. And we're also on the heels of those that we saw.
The live cartridges packed in boxes and cartons were carefully sealed up inside our specially constructed compartments underneath the trucks. 81 Division is expected to hand over the seized ammunition to the Directorate of State Security.
TG Ala Dairy Products, manufacturers of Dano Milk, has set a new world record with 700 youths participating in the longest drink pouring relay ever using Dano Milk. The relay, which took place in Lagos, was part of activities to mark the 2018 World Milk Day. Amaka O has the details.
Dano Milk in Nigeria made history with the conclusion of a drink pouring relay by 700 people, which lasted for over 2.5 hours. This new world record is striking out the previous one set in 2013, with 550 people participating in drink relay in Venezuela using soft drink brand. Managing Director TG Ala Dairy Products, Mad Bomester, says Dano Milk is joining the rest of the world to mark Milk Day by providing her numerous consumers with varying quality products at affordable prices.
We offer a range of very nutritious, healthy and affordable products to our customers. It's the World Milk Day, started in 2001 by the UN. And since that day, we have been enjoying milk on the 1st of June and having fun at the same time.
Marketing manager Dano Milk Ifunanya Obiako also stated that Dano Milk has continued to employ new strategies in sustaining its brand in the past 3 decades.
For us, it's been consistency, it's been boldness, and it's been innovation. Consumers are satisfied. I mean, today we are in a digital age, so we get feedback online, offline.
Representative of the wife of Governor of Lagos State, Jumoke Benson, an official of the Lagos State Ministry of Health, Fadiu Taiwo Adejoke, and others stressed the importance of milk as a major source of protein, which is also rich in calcium, phosphorus, and vitamins and other nutrients for a healthy body.
One of the best ways of giving babies the right nutrients is through milk.
Milk helps the body to grow, either young or old.
It's a wonderful thing. They're sensitizing people constantly that drinking milk is good.
Dano Milk has various brands which include skimmed milk, full cream, strawberry and chocolate brands. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports after this time out. Please stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's talk business now. Nigerian equities market records further losses as Nigerian stock market dips. Let's join Amina Nujem on Business News.
Hello and welcome to Business News. I am Amina Nujem. 3 years into President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, emerging facts outline that the Nigerian economy is back on the path of growth after exiting recession. Highlights of these achievements include the addition of 5 million taxpayers into the tax net, as well as tax revenue increase of 1.17 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2018. The Nigerian economy grew by 1.95%, while recording its highest external reserves in 5 years. Meanwhile, the Nigerian equities market continued its bearish sentiment as it closed this week, Friday, 1st of June 2018, in the red. This makes it the 11th consecutive day, with the year-to-date also in the negative. As at the close of trade this Friday, the OSHA index dipped 3.38%, driving the weekly loss to 6.38%, while market capitalization closed at 13.3 trillion naira. 516 million equities exchanged hands in 5,031 deals, valued at 7.195 billion naira. Access Bank, Sovereign Insurance and UBA topped activities in the course of the day. Access Bank, Etana and Cement Company of Northern Nigeria led the advancers, while international bureaus Dangote Cement and Hallmark Insurance led the decliners. The bearish news from the stock market concludes Business News. Good evening.
Amina Nujem there. The era of unsolicited messages and other forced subscription telecom subscribers will soon be a thing of the past, as the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) is set to penalize operators and make them pay a fine of 5 million naira for violation. This was at a consumer conversation in New Karu, Nasarawa State. And Debola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Karu Local Government Secretariat was the venue of the program. Participants converged on the Secretariat Hall, where Head of Zonal Operations, Helen Obi, interacted with them and gave out NCC toll-free lines, application of Do Not Disturb, where subscribers text STOP to 2442. Poor signals, unapproved charges and deduction are some of the complaints subscribers tendered when they had the floor.
So I would try it and make sure I stop it, because most times I don't really feel comfortable getting those messages.
I would really give a big thumbs up to NCC, because trust me, it's really a nice one. Advise my students, I will tell them and also give them the code so as to get rid of these messages.
Service provider is supposed to pay 5 million on, for default, and for every day that the commission issues the directive or imposes that sanction and it's not paid, for every day it will attract an additional 500,000. We also expect that the consumers should play a role in taking advantage of the channels that we have, through which they can complain to us, and we will take it up.
The initiative is geared towards a better service delivery for Nigerian subscribers. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Time now to link up with Ogechi Paul in Port Harcourt. Ogechi, it's over to you.
For joining me in Port Harcourt. Work is in progress on the multi-billion naira Border-Bori Road, which was abandoned 15 years ago. The road project was re-awarded by the federal government in 2017 in keeping with its infrastructural development campaign across the country. Emmanuel Lene reports.
The 35-kilometer Border-Bori Road was awarded for 20 billion naira in 2002, and when completed would connect other parts of the country with the Bonny Island, home of the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Company. It would also address challenges of poverty and unemployment confronting the host communities of Bonny, Ogoni, Andoni, and other communities in the Niger Delta. The road project was abandoned on account of funding constraints. The President Buhari-led federal government re-awarded it in 2017 at the cost of 120 billion naira to be co-funded by the NLNG. Work is in progress on the multi-billion naira project as some sections are being pied, sandfed, stabilized or stone-based. Residents of the communities commend the federal government for rekindling their hope.
The work is good enough for the people of this community and for the people coming from Bonny and any other place that they will go through this very main and express road.
I see a lot of equipment here. It was in progress.
They, however, expressed reservation on the involvement of the communities in the ongoing work.
We were expecting a kind of hard quality job.
The road is fairly high, then divided the community into two places.
The project is expected to be completed in 56 months. From Bodo, Ogoniland, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Still talking about roads, the growing concern over road crashes and the best strategies to check the trend was the focus of an engagement between the Federal Road Safety Corps FRS in River State and stakeholders in the industry. Osinachi Silvanos Abraham has details.
Statistics indicate that about 1.3 million people die in road crashes each year, with 20 to 50 million injured or disabled. Road traffic crashes rank as the 9th leading causes of death and account for 2.2% of all deaths globally. It is against this backdrop that the Federal Road Safety Corps River State Command is organizing a town hall meeting with commercial drivers and other road users on better approach to driving and ensuring safety on the roads.
I believe that if we're able to change the attitude of people on the road, then you find out that you have less crashes on the road. And once there are less crashes on the road, then I think we made our job very simple.
Some stakeholders speak on the gains of the meeting.
Is an illiterate driver that is devoid of traffic education and is expected to execute traffic education judgment on the road. So it just does not balance. It needs to do a lot of enlightenment.
Federal Road Safety Corps is the federal government agency with the statutory responsibilities for road safety administration in Nigeria. From Eleme, Osinachi Silvanus Abraham, NTA News.
Well, that's a bit from here, Joseph. It's good to see you.
Very good to see you, Ogechi Paul. Nigerians, irrespective of ethnic or religious affiliations, have been called upon to shun violence and live in peace and harmony with one another. National President, National Union of Road Transport Workers, Alhaji Najim Yassin, who made the call at the 2018 annual Ramadan lecture organized by the Ogun State chapter of the Union, urged members to be law-abiding and promote national development.
With the theme Islam and Insecurity in Nigeria, the third annual Ramadan lecture by the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Ogun State, attracted faithful from the Southwest Zone. The guest lecturer, Sheikh Muhyiddin Bello, while calling on Nigerians to live in peace with one another, noted that Islam preaches peace and that God created man to live in harmony for meaningful development to take place, as he commended the President Muhammadu Buhari's efforts in the fight against insecurity and corruption in the country. The national president of NURTW and the Ogun State chairman advised members of the union to ensure a smooth change in the union leadership by 2019, which in the past was characterized by violence.
We want to break that genes. By next year, where I'm completing my tenure, I will step down and have a successful handing over to elected president of the union that will continue piloting the affairs of the union.
The union leadership also appealed to political office holders to shun greed and support President Buhari in his fight against corruption.
We should be law-abiding, and we should not allow any politician to use this organization as a political tool.
My own advice to the members in the time of 2019, they should not allow politicians to be using them for thuggery. Our union is now in peace.
Alhaji Yassin appealed to his union members to get their voter cards to be able to elect a credible leader of their choice come next general elections.
Do stay with the NTA. Up next is sports update after this time out. Now on sports, the Super Eagles have continued their build-up to the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia, which kicks off in 13 days' time. As correspondent Ayodeji Makinde brings us the mood of their camp in Nigeria before moving to Europe for further preparations.